I'm a long tall Texan. I wear a 10-gallon hat.
He rides from Texas with a 10-gallon hat.
Well, people look at me and say, is that your hat?
He rides from Texas with a 10-gallon hat.
Well, I was walking down the street with my shining badge, my fudging and at my feet. I seen a man coming with a gun, and I just can't be beat. Well, I'm a long tall Texan, iron for justice for the law.
He rides from Texas to enforce the law.
Yes, I'm a long tall Texan, iron for justice for the law.
He rides from Texas to enforce the law.
Well, people look at me and say, Roy, is you the law?
He rides from Texas to enforce the law.
Well, I got up this morning and I read the news after I did all my distribution, and it said something about another mass shooting, this time in Mississippi. That's two in, I guess, 2 days. And so as much as boring as it is, I want to address gun violence. First off, the person who did the shooting in California, which was distressing, a 6-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl were killed. And what kind of an idiot does that, okay? Also, they had security set up with metal detectors and all this other sort of thing. And this guy cut a hole through the back fence and came in that way. He had a legally purchased weapon. I think he purchased in Nevada. The mainstream media saw fit to give very little information about the shooter. In fact, it was hard just to get his name out there. But as soon as we got the name out there and everything, the rest of the facts about the shooter, it doesn't seem to have hit the mainstream media yet. His weird name, the fact that he was a Muslim, the fact that he did purchase the gun legally when he came into California with it, a whole bunch of little facts. And being from Texas, and this is going to rub all the liberals exactly the wrong way. With over 300 million guns in the United States, you are never going to get rid of all the guns. It's never going to happen, okay? It can't happen. The solution to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. All those people in that venue in California didn't have a gun, except the security guards up front. All those people did not have a gun. In Texas, I guarantee you, especially with a gathering like that, there would have been a huge sprinkling of privately owned weapons there, and maybe the little girl and little boy and the other guy, the 25-year-old, would maybe be alive. Maybe, okay? You cannot solve gun violence with gun control. You cannot control outlaws. Mexico has gun control. Chicago has gun control. New York has gun control. California has gun control. And the governor of California coming out and railing against what the Republicans are doing, not trying to control guns and everything. Well, Governor, you didn't control the guns either. They came in through the back fence. This is a fact of life, my friends. When you have bad people in the world, you've got to have good people to keep them at bay. It's as simple as that. Mass shootings upset me as much as anybody else. But, you know, nobody railing about what President Trump said about Baltimore and the misappropriation of funds up there gave a body count for the weekend for Baltimore, which was much higher than the two mass shootings put together. Chicago, oh God, yes, much higher than those. Every night in the streets of Chicago, people die through gun violence, and they have gun control. You've got to do the math. It's as simple as that. Back in the day, and they may still do it today, when they clamped down on guns in New York, the hoods and the thugs came up with a thing called a zip gun. They could use a rubber band, a metal tube, and a bullet, and they can make a single-shot gun. Okay? When you have violence, you're going to have violence. Knives. if you check your FBI reports, you'll see that most homicides are committed with hammers, because hammers are the most readily available object that you can get that can do damage to a human being. When you hit somebody in the head with a hammer, you'll do damage. Okay, a lot of deaths from gunfire are suicides. Other part of the deaths are gang-related violence, and I guarantee you their guns aren't registered. The Crips start shooting at the Bloods start shooting at the Crips, MS-13 starts shooting at everybody else and everything, and all these people are outlaws, and the public is at their mercy. It's as simple as that. So you're not going to solve gun violence with gun control. It's not going to happen. You need to pull your heads out of your butts and realize that. Most of these people that do this stuff too, that like the guy, I don't know about the Mississippi guy, though. I know that the guy in California was a radical Muslim. I know that, okay? The guy in Mississippi, I don't know. But most of them are, if you see your average little white boy with a funny haircut, and they all seem to have a funny haircut, they're usually on some kind of psychotropic drugs that have given, usually that's what happens, okay? So we need to get our drug problem under control, and also when somebody's diagnosed as a mentally ill and everything, then there's your background check right there. You don't need mentally ill people with access to weapons. Your local sheriff's department can take care of that. The kid that shot up Sandy Hook, the whole town knew he was a nut, and his mother had a bunch of guns. Now, I'm not for gun control, but I am for, if you've got something like that in your town, and the sheriff and the police know about it, they need to go to that house and tell the lady, we're going to pick your guns up and lock them in our safe until your kid moves away. We're not going to allow you to have a bunch of guns in the house when we know he's a nut. That's just common sense. That's mostly common sense. But you can't deprive good, hardworking people of a chance to defend themselves in the event of emergencies. You can't say, well, we're going to saw the horns off of the antelope because they're not authorized and everything. And if the lion should come, then the game patrol will be there in no time flat. Remember, when seconds are required, the police are only minutes away. Most active shooters last less than 15 minutes. Most active shooters. They're usually, by the time the police get there, they either shoot themselves or the police shoot them. But in 15 minutes, and it's high capacity magazines. High capacity magazines. Well, if you've got an active shooter who's hell bent to go in and do some damage, and he's carrying a pistol that's only allowed to have 7 shots in the magazine, he'll just bring 10 or 20 magazines in the backpack. Simple as that. And getting the confusion about a full auto or automatic fire assault rifles. We're going to have to do gun 101 here. Fully automatic is when you hold the trigger and it shoots all the bullets in the magazine one after another, okay? Automatic is just every time you pull the trigger, it self-cocks and gets ready for the next time you pull the trigger. If it's fully automatic or auto, it doesn't matter. If you're in a classroom with 30 kids and you've got a rifle or a pistol that's just simply automatic, I mean, how many bullets can a child soak up? Let's say you're restricted to 7 to 10 shots in the gun. You got 30 kids in the classroom. You fire 10 shots. 9 of them find the target. You got wounded and dead kids right there. So what would stop that shooting in the classroom? Well, number one, secure the doors. Secure the front end. Number two, you put your money in bank guards, you put your money in Brinks, you put your money in all that kind of stuff. Put a little bit of money in an armed guard at the front of each school, and everybody has to check in through a door where they're checked. They can't just walk in the office or worse than that, just walk into the school. You have to have some kind of security. All the school shootings that I know of, the killer just walked in like he was going to school. Most of the time, or some of the times, the kids that saw him walk in knew he was a nut, and they dodged it because they didn't want to be around the nut. Okay? Now, these are just some thoughts on gun control, and you take them to heart because this is the way it works in the real world.
I'm going to take a guess on how many times you're going to get shot.
You can't touch this. You can't touch this.